Welcome to day 153 of our BitClout journey. I'm Eddie Krasenstein here with my twin brother Brian. And there's not really too much news yesterday. We did hold a clubhouse with Reed, and he talked about how he really wants to start helping developers out more. So that's kind of exciting because we're going to, we're at the point where I think we can really start seeing developers build on top of BitClout. So Reed's going to be trying to work with developers to help them out. And Maybeam had an announcement yesterday. You might recall a few days ago, we discussed Postgres QL, which allows the blockchain to kind of be pulled into a database for developers to more easily work with the data. And it should, A, speed things up, B, make it more affordable for node operators, and C, just make it easier in general to code for BitClout nodes and BitClout and apps that are running on top of BitClout. So that's all great news for the developers, I think.
Yeah, I spoke to a few developers yesterday and they're really excited about it. It's almost as if like things got 10 times easier for them. And it just really enables them to do more, do it faster, and kind of interact with the blockchain in a more intuitive way, I think. So I think it's big. I think that it's definitely a good thing because we are looking for developers to kind of build more on the platform. Right now, that's one of the things lacking in my mind. I feel that there could be so much more built on top of the blockchain. And I think that this is going to at least help them a little bit. But something else is funding. They need funding. And I saw Jason Devlin from Cloudcast made a post earlier, basically saying the average developer, they're going to have problems developing because they do need the funding. They need some money, and there should be a developer fund, and that developer fund could be giving out $50,000 or $100,000 to some of these projects, not the huge projects that are actually having seed rounds off of BitClout. Like there are projects like Moonbounce, I think, and Metalink, and they're getting funding from outside of BitClout. So I think it is important to have some kind of fund that can push these developers forward. I know it's hard to kind of weed out the good developers and the bad developers, but I think that if you have a system in place and the core team could manage kind of giving out some funds just to push these developers and make them feel like they have someone backing them.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a big thing, especially to get started. All startups need some funding, and it's not going to be any different for BitClout developers. Now, also,
I just want to say, I think Reed is doing amazing work, and I think we need more people like him because he's not only is he pushing things forward and investing and working with developers, but he's also very active on the platform, and he feels like he's part of the community, whereas maybe some other people they kind of fell off the usual routine of posting so much. And so it's nice to see Reed kind of step out and become one of those people that does interact with the community.
Yeah, for sure. So yesterday we also talked about tutorials. They came out yesterday and it was a little buggy. And we were discussing how, when you go through the tutorial, it suggests creators that you can invest in. And it was like Elon Musk and a few others. But we were discussing how we think, some of the more active creators from BitClout should be on that list as well. And it's funny, yesterday morning, I guess it was, Maybeam made a post saying, there's so many creators where we are excited to feature in the new tutorial flow. We're working on fixing an indexing bug that's preventing the majority of the creators we are adding from showing up. P.S. Some of you are featured in the tutorial and just need to lower your founder reward to 10%. So I guess your founder reward needs to be 10% in order to show up. And we will see more creators displayed in that. So I think that's good news. It's good for discoverability for when new users sign up, let them discover some people to follow other than Elon Musk. So that's great news.
I think it should definitely be active. People who are active every day. I think it's not only is it a great way for people to discover the active users, but I think it could be a really good way to kind of give back to some of the active users because they are getting their coin bought in this tutorial. So it's just something I hope that they kind of put some of the really active users in this discoverability featured user area.
Yeah, and so the price of BitClout's sitting at around $69 or so. What an unusual number for it to kind of keep. It's weird. It like goes up past and then goes back down to 69. It goes under 69 and it shoots back up to 69. So that's kind of funny, I guess. And it's not so funny that the price of cloud's down. It makes all of our wallets look weaker. But in the long run, like we said before, this is either going to go to close to zero if BitClout doesn't work out, or it's going to soar, and the sky's the limit if it does work out. So I think we just have to be patient and see where it takes us. And like I said earlier, Coinbase, I think that's going to really show us the true price, because right now you can pretty much, all the buys are coming on BitClout and all the sells are coming on blockchain. So
yeah, and I just want to say, I think that the drop in price has actually spawned a lot of buyers. Every day I go through the Gringot feed, and Gringot is basically the bot that sends clout to people who buy clout on BitClout.com. And yesterday, or the last 24 hours, basically 24 hours from this point back, there's been 105 buys through Gringot, and it totals around $85,000. And this is double what it was in a price wise. Like I think it was like trending around 30 to 40,000 a day before this drop. So it definitely spawned a lot more buys, and at a lower price, it's actually almost double the volume of what it would have been at $100. So I think it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's getting people to buy more clout, and when they buy more clout, they're going to probably buy creator coins with that clout, and it's going to create more engagement and activity on the platform and get people more excited. So I think it's just patience is key, and I think as new features roll out, Coinbase finally comes on board, I think we're going to see a lot of fireworks.
Yeah, and I think it's worth noting that $100 floor was kind of being held there. And while Diamond Hands hasn't confirmed that they were the ones doing it, I've talked to a few individuals, including a VC, and they also have that assumption that it was being held there, it was being manipulated in order to hold that price floor. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Now that the price floor is gone, do we see it bounce around until we hit the Coinbase listing? When it hits Coinbase, do we see it shoot up? Do we see it shoot down? Or does it just kind of keep in this pattern of bouncing between, like $50 and $78?
Yeah, I mean, I could see it being range bound, maybe between 60 and 80 for a while until more things roll out. And I think the next thing we're going to see is the front end change. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that within 2 weeks.
Yeah, and hopefully a referral program. I think that's something a lot of people have been waiting for, especially when it comes to onboarding new users. So hopefully we see a referral program and then the front end change, and then we can kind of set, like we're kind of there and we can start onboarding.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that'll be a great place to leave off, and we will talk to you tomorrow.